space of my senses. I exchange my breath with the breeze, and am living, not wishing to be anywhere else, or to do anything else. However long it lasts, it is forever. The cabin has been responsible for a lot of things then and now. I had it for 25 years, and about year 20, there was a wood-sided chimney with a metal flue inside, and it had to be replaced. And I call this experience the harrowing. Harrowing has a lot of implications, biblical as well as psychological. The lopsided chimney came down today. It looked sound to the glancing eye, but its insides were rotten to the touch. A weathered, stately toad at the side of the cabin, drenched in summer's rains and dried brittle in the fall winds and many a winter's stare. The carpenter delivered the quietus, tearing off some black shaded pieces and revealing the hidden sepulcher within. The accumulated moisture, wet particle board, and crumbling studding, pieces of log siding surrendering to the rough surgery of his hands. The chimney was soon down, its broken remains irreverently tossed on the ground among the decaying leaves, their once remarkable autumn colors dulled and diminished, occasionally lifted by the chilling wind across the bare, unobstructed space where the structure had long endured. As the dusk turned into night, it gave little promise of what the carpenter said he would make anew in the dark, make anew in the morning, in the dark, empty space at the break of dawn. I do have some Shakespeare things for those of you who have come because you remember the Shakespeare. Brush up your Shakespeare, and the women you will love. Okay. Where is this Shakespeare? I'm sorry. As I do with these things, I sometimes have an order worked out, but as the day goes on and you talk with people, the order changes to fit the mood. Any surprise there? Just be patient. And incidentally, if there are any of these that you want to hear a second time, don't be bashful about that. There was a poet, Robert Bly, whom I met in Atlanta, and he had short poems, and he would always read it a second time. And there was a method in that madness, because, as I read, I try to give some space in between the poems so that whatever you can absorb is made easier by not having to start concentrating immediately on something else. Come on, here we go. This one, I think, leads us right into the second half of the program. It's called Prospero. Shakespeare's Tempest, the last poem, the last play that he wrote, and it is a poem, truly. It's about a magician, an exiled magician, a former duke, who gets exiled to an island with his daughter, Miranda. And at the end, he decides to chuck at everything. That he brings on a tempest with his magical powers, just as an artist does, and he makes things right with the brother who banished him to that island. So there's a reconciliation, just as there is in the other poem of play of Shakespeare's later years, The Winter's Tale. And these are two of the finest plays of Shakespeare. The main character, Prospero, is a magician, and he has a lot of magic books with him on the island, and he has a spirit that attends to it. At the end, he decides this. Prospero, between the forgotten swaddling at birth and the tender mercies offered in the drift into death is a raging contest between the commitment. Excuse me. Let me start this over. Sorry about this. It's the lighting that throws me. Anyway, between the forgotten swaddling at birth and tender mercies offered in the drift into death is a raging contest between noble commitment and the simple joy of indulgence. And as we can no longer recall our wordless joy at birth, so will the stated pride of purpose in life unravel inarticulately in death. Vigorous in his powers, Prospero renounced even the magic of his books. High-minded purpose yielded to the truth of time's passage. Brief joy, bookended by birth and death. How to live is always a question of the moment that cannot wait on an unknown and final answer. Thank you very much.